Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Ragy Thomas. He is the CEO and founder of Sprinklr. Ragy, it's always wonderful to see you. Thanks for joining me today.
Wonderful to see you as well.
Thank you. So now, Ragy, you recently announced your Q4 fiscal year 2024 earnings. So tell me, what were some of the highlights?
Well, we reported a great quarter, beat on pretty much all metrics, guided to north of $800 million on the top line and over $100 million on the bottom line. So it's going to be a good year. Business is growing, and we're going to be, nicely profitable. We've been building this company for 14 years, and it finally looks like all the things are coming together, especially with generative AI and the move towards conversational AI. And as you know, we provide a unified customer experience management platform, which kind of complements CRM, which is on the back end and transactional data. So we're building an operating system for where your customers meet you at the edge of your brand.
So now Sprinklr has been heavily focused on CCaaS and AI.
Yeah.
Tell me about the vision you see in these areas and the future for Sprinklr.
So let's start with the vision of the company. We're building, like I said, an operating system for the edge of your brand where your customers meet you. When you really think about what happens at the edge, which is in a store, on a billboard, or on Facebook or Twitter, or whether it's a text message or a phone call, and at the edge, you're selling, you're marketing, you're advertising, you're getting feedback from customers, and you're doing customer service. And you're doing that across a lot of channels. And we support like over 40 channels right now around the world across all the business units. So you've got multiple problems. You have to unify across channels on the edge. You have to unify across functions, marketing and customer service on the edge. And you have to unify all the silos within your company that are dealing with all these touch points independently. That's the problem we are solving. We started with CCaaS, omni-channel customer service, because when people call you for help, you've got to take care of them first before you earn the right to go back and market and advertise to them. So we started in social, evolved to digital, and when we started building out voice and AI on voice, we said, let's start with CCaaS first, and made a lot of sense.
Now tell me, how do you see Sprinklr's AI-powered solutions increase productivity for your customers?
Well, we're seeing radical productivity increase. And before the wave of generative AI features, we were seeing 10, 20%. And right now, we have some stories where our customers have gone live with our platform and conversational AI and self-service capabilities. And we had an e-commerce provider that rolled out a platform and reported 43% improvement in productivity. So you don't need, if you're at 100 agents, 43 of them can do more, other things. We had one of the larger banks in the world that started out with no self-service. Now it's got 45% of all their customer interactions going through some form of self-service. So now we're talking about radical improvements, and we are comfortable, kind of starting out with, let's go improve your front office productivity 20 to 40%. And you think about how much labor is involved in the front office. For most industries, that's the bulk of your expenses in your front office, selling, doing customer service, marketing, advertising. And what if we can make that whole labor spend 20 to 40% more productive?
Now, Ragy, you work with many of the world's most iconic brands, such as Microsoft, P&G, Samsung, and you have more than 60% of the Fortune 100. So what are you hearing from your customers right now, and what do they need to be successful?
Well, thank you for calling that out. We work with 83 of the top 100 brands in the world, and in most industries, pretty much all of the top companies. So it's interesting to go talk to them and get their perspective. Everyone's excited about AI. And there's AI that's theory, LLMs and models. There's also the AI that we bring, which is really practical. How do I make your agent more productive? How do I make your marketing dollars more effective? How do I help you create 5,000 ad variants without spending the money and without doing another shoot? So we're talking about practical AI. So that's sort of the first thing. The second thing that's just very pronounced is in large companies, which are our customer base, um, CIOs and CMOs and CEOs, frankly, are tired of little products and point solutions that do one thing. And they've proliferated in these large companies because everyone's buying a SaaS solution with a credit card. And now you got 50 different tools in marketing and 30 in customer service that don't talk to each other. So we're seeing a broad trend, especially with the budget pressures that are there now. We're seeing a broad trend of CIOs and CMOs consolidating their tech stack in the front office. So very often we're seeing like a handful of companies like Salesforce, like Adobe, like ServiceNow, and now Sprinklr just be the beneficiaries of that consolidation. And CIOs are finding it easier to have these larger platforms interconnected so that the employees that are customer facing have a better experience and customers have a better experience and they save more money.
Wow. Well, Ragy, always wonderful to talk with you.
Always.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk
Thank
today.
you. Thank you for having me.